Okay, let's look at this background information about inverse functions. You've got a function which is expressed as f of x, and its inverse is f inverse of x. Domain and range. The function contained the points 2, 9, 4, 5, 11, 6. The inverse function would have the points 9, 2, 5, 4, and 6, 11. Notice the reverse. The domain of the function becomes the range of the inverse, and the domain of the inverse is the range of the original function. They interchange, and this is where they're listed. There's specific steps in doing an inverse function and finding an inverse function. The first step is to replace f of x with y, which has been done here. Then switch the x and the y. The y became an x, the x became a y. And then solve for the new y. Okay, that was the new y. We subtracted 1 from both sides. We have y by itself, so f inverse of x is x minus 1. That y becomes f inverse. And we kind of flip that around because that's more in line with what we're used to doing. Okay, now I want us to actually work this one out, going through the steps. Our first step is to replace f of x with y. The second step is to interchange the x and the y. So the y becomes an x, the x becomes a y. Now we want to solve for y. I'm going to move the 6 over. Add 6 to both sides, and then we will divide by 2, and we have y by itself. We have solved for y. So after we interchanged, then we started solving for y, and our last step is to replace y with f inverse of x. And you can leave it like that if you want to.